Men, and I use the term loosely, of course. Today is day 6 on this project. Yesterday was day 5. I didn't video anything on day 5, but I'm going to show you what I did in a minute. Anyway, today's day 6. I think I'm going to rewire the taillight today. It's late in the day. I had a couple of appointments this morning, so it's kind of a small side project I could hopefully wrap up pretty easy. But let's show you what I did yesterday that you didn't get to see. Alright, I started running wiring harnesses. Pull through the handlebar. Anyway, started running wiring harnesses. Replaced the brake cable housing because it was damaged in shipping. Not a big deal, but you know, something needed to get done. I unmounted the front wheel and took both wheel rims off of the hubs because they're getting replaced. And I'll talk more about this later when I get around to getting tires. Those are taper bead rims that are meant for taper bead tires. Taper bead tires are no longer produced, so we're going to get safety bead rims that'll go with safety bead tires. It'll be a safer install for this owner. Polished up the front brake drum, cleaned the brakes, put that all back together again so that's ready to go when I get spokes. Welded an extension on the handlebars to accommodate the pull type throttle, and got rid of the internal push type throttle. These are so much better. They are so much more responsive. But anyway, I got that done. Anyway, that's about it for yesterday. I got a giant boatload of parts coming. They're all coming from V-Twin. We'll see how it works out. I'll let you know when I get everything unboxed and start getting the test fit. The stuff I'm ordering from V-Twin I've ordered before, and it's actually worked out pretty good. So hopefully I'll be able to give them a good report when this stuff gets here. But anyway, let's get the wiring harness off of this taillight and start working on that. Harley did a pretty nice job of running this wire. It's got little clips, hold it up against the inside of the fender all the way around. So I'm going to probably disconnect the wires at the brake switch, and then I'm probably going to have to pull the tail light out to get to the wires where they go into the bulb. Let's get this tail light out of the way. You know, this light bulb is almost impossible to get in and out. The housing is so small, it's just very difficult to get this in and out. But anyway, it's got to come out, so I don't know. Let's see if I can get it out. Fucking thing. Ooh, I think it's coming. Nope. You know, you got to push on it so hard. Makes you wonder whether you'll break the bulb and cut your hand open. Might be able to take the bracket out. Yeah, changing the light bulb should not be a pain in the ass. I got some dielectric grease. I may put on the bulb. All right. Oh, the bulb is broken loose from the base. That's part of the problem. Son of a bitch. Ay, ay. I'm either going to break something or hurt myself, I could tell. Well, that ain't working. You know, and this is one of those things where, you know, a guy might look at his bill and say, well, shit, it took you an hour to change the taillight. How come it's that? Well, because you got to take the bracket out of the housing, because the bulb is broken out of the socket, because the thing is corroded in a one turn, because I managed to smash the bulb and cut my fingers in the process. Got it. Yeah, this is, you can see what's going on there. So that's no good. All right, we got a red wire and a green wire. And it goes up into the harness. All right, we're going to cut that off. When I put this back together again, there will be an extra 4 inches of pigtail coiled up behind her. Yeah, and this is interesting. I'll show you on the bench how Harley made these little nipples right here. Interesting. Now I'm going to try to fish this up and out. Son of a bitch. Well, just trying not to break this because I wanted to use it to get the length. Much easier to do with the fender off. There we go. This here is what I'm using to replace this. This stuff is, I don't know that it's fireproof, but it's heat resistant and fire resistant. Vinyl, fiberglass kind of stuff. Very heavy duty. I'll zoom in on the part numbers for you. There you go, there's one number. There's another number. This stuff is hard to find, but anyway, we're going to replace the Harley harnesses with this stuff here. It'll work good. If you look carefully at these, what Harley did was they just took the end of the wire, twisted it around to make kind of a little flat button, and put a drop of solder on it. And those are the contacts to the base of the bulb. Alright, I'm going to try to do this without fucking it up. And that ought to do it. Alright, I got to admit, I wasn't real happy with the way that turned out. So we're going to try something a little different. I got here a brake shoe rivet. It's made out of brass. And we're going to heat it up and fill the end of it with solder. Well, this is like the 5th time I'm doing this. Sound wasn't on, camera wasn't on, I fucked up something. So we're going to try it one more time for purposes of this demonstration. We're going to fill the brass rivet with solder. Okay, it's full. We're going to tin a wire. Okay, I've gotten half of the point flattened, filed the flat on one side here so that I could have better contact with the rivet for faster heat transfer. So we'll reflow the solder in the rivet one more time. And let the solder cool. Alright, looks good. Gonna tin the other wire. Fill the rivet with solder. Fuck. Ay, ay, ay. Well, where did the rivet go? Oh, the rivet's right here. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Now wire got fucked up. Ay, ay, ay. And I think that's got it. I hope so anyway. Alright, so I had this all apart. I enlarged the holes in this insulator block a little bit so that the heat shrink would fit inside there. Got everything running, put some heat shrink on the barrel of the rivet so that it wouldn't short out against the sides or the springs. Yeah, should be ready to go. If I could stuff it all back in there. Alright, got it all shoved in there. The rivets are not touching each other. They're not touching the side of the shell. Let's see if the bulb goes in. Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I think that'll work. Before I get it stuffed in the motorcycle, I'm going to put some electricity on it, make sure it lights and it doesn't short out. Okay, here's another example of Harley being stupid. Here's the tail light right here, and it's got 2 wires. You know, one's the tail light, the other's a brake light. The tail light wire runs from the tail light through some of that sheathing, all the way around through some more sheathing, and up to this switch, which is on the headlight cowl. What the fuck? So if a guy wanted to take the fender off without cutting any wires. He'd have to unsolder it at the tail light or pull this wire through these conduits and all the way back to here so that he could take the fender and the tail light off as one assembly. This one here is on the switch, so you could unscrew this one. This is right down there by the brake pedal. That's not so bad. But what kind of a dumbass company designs it that way? That's just crazy. I'm suspecting that when it went down the assembly line, the tail light and the harness were all attached together and went on as one piece. I'm just guessing. I don't know that. But there's really no other way to do this and keep this wire in one unbroken piece from one end to the other. If I was building a bike for myself, there'd be a terminal strip right about here so that you could disconnect these from the harness without having to cut anything. But that's just me, and what do I know? And now for the fun part, trying to stuff this back up underneath there. Yeah, the metal edge of the bike lift cutting into my back ain't doing it for me. Well, that might work. I like to bend these little clips back over a little more. I don't know if that's going to be possible or not. But anyway, they're basically in. The wires are basically in. Alright, we're wrapping things up today. This is the last thing I'm going to do. Butts a little pain on this rear wheel hub. Got that rear fender wiring all tucked up in there. That's ready to go. The spokes and the rims that are going to go on this hub should be coming here tomorrow. So if I get a little paint on there, should be able to put that together tomorrow. Let it dry all night and all day. And this is not restoration quality. This is, gee, it was pretty ugly. Maybe it'll be a little less ugly. I got a brand new chrome one of these for sale on the eBay store, or at least Ironhead Peg does. So check out my eBay store if you want a brandy ass new chrome one. I guess that'll do. It is what it is. And with that, I am out of here, and we'll see you all the next time. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, and I'm gone. Just a quick reminder. You can help support and grow this channel first of all, and most importantly, by hitting that subscribe button. So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to do a little more, join me on Patreon. Links down below. So go ahead and join me on Patreon if you feel so inclined. And finally, coffee cups, stickers, and gas tank covers are available. This is a new design coffee cup. I like the old ones, but I like these new ones even better. Links will be provided in the description down below. Get yourself some. And thank you all ever so much for watching these videos. I really appreciate it. Bye.